Hey guys, it's Jenna Laine here with Chris Markowski. We are the hosts of your wake up call on AM 820 News and AM 1190 News. Now, one of the topics we talked about in today's show was this ruling in the Hobby Lobby case. What do you think about it, Chris? Do you think it was the right call?
I do think it was the right call. I think the Supreme Court was very careful in this case in the sense that they really limited it in their language that this had to deal with companies that were small. They weren't larger companies or closely held companies. But I also happen to agree. I'm a libertarian guy with the fact that companies should be able to decide what they can and cannot do. In this case, basically, this company, Hobby Lobby, did not want to have to provide contraception in their insurance plans. And it was mandated by Obamacare, and they decided that it was against their religious beliefs. Now, whether you want to believe that or not, that's one of the beautiful things about our Constitution is it protects people's religious beliefs. In my opinion, I think it's getting a little blown out of control, quite honestly, because I think that we're almost focusing on the fact that insurance and all these things have to cover everything. And quite honestly, I don't think any insurance should have to cover something that we should have to pay for on their own. It shouldn't be a catch-all. I've got health insurance. It should cover aspirin. It should cover Viagra, even though it does in many cases. I think it's a bit problematic in the sense that we're living in an entitlement culture and everybody feels that they shouldn't have to pay their own way.
You know, I agree with that to an extent, but I would also say I think that there are instances, and we talked about this on the program, instances where birth control, it's a medical issue. You know, endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, just having irregular menstrual periods, things like that. That's when birth control can be really helpful. So it's not just a contraceptive means, but because you encompass it in that category, it unfortunately is getting shot down in this situation. But, one thing it's intriguing because this company, while they don't believe in that, they're still supporting male contraceptives, or forms of it, I should say, vasectomies, Viagra, things like that. So I find that really interesting. The one thing I do have a concern about is because in this ruling, the Supreme Court justices cited religious beliefs and that companies shouldn't have to, be forced into doing something that is against their religious beliefs. What's next? Does that mean that the cake baker out in Oregon, if there weren't Oregon laws in place, would they be able to deny a same-sex couple the ability to purchase a wedding cake? So we're just going to have to see as far as how that all goes. But ultimately, in this situation, it came down to religious beliefs.
Well, we already had a court decision already rule in favor of the couple, the same-sex couple that wanted to get the cake made by the baker. And I'm a libertarian guy. I just think that why would you want to spend money in a place that doesn't want to serve you in the first place? But
Good point.
there's a larger issue in regards to the insurance. It's not Hobby Lobby that's supporting the Viagra or the vasectomies. It's the fact that the government mandates it, and that's part of the issue. So Obamacare mandates that you have to cover all sorts of contraception, Viagra, all these things. I'm under the belief that insurance should basically cover things that are bad. We've got in insurance and everything that you want. You don't want to have to use your insurance. You don't want to die and have to exercise your life insurance policy. You don't want to get into a car accident and have to exercise, your car insurance. You don't want to have a hurricane hit your house and then have to exercise your life insurance policy. We treat health insurance differently. We treat it as this okay, I've got a card, I can go and I can spend it on whatever I want. It should be there to protect us in case, God forbid, something catastrophic happens. And I think that that's something that has changed over the past several decades in people's belief in exactly what health insurance is. You bring up a great point in regards to, okay, there's certain medical uses for contraception that women may want to use various different things. But then we get into the fact that what else? Is it going to be, there's lots of different medical things, whether it be toothpaste, whether it be the fact that my heel hurts and should cover my Dr. Scholl's thing. There's so many different things that it can add into that. When do we draw the line?
Absolutely. When do we draw the line? Well, I have a feeling we're probably going to be talking about this a little bit more on the program. You'll definitely want to tune in Monday through Friday. That's 8 a.m. or excuse me, what am I talking about? 8 a.m. I wish the show started at 8 a.m. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on AM 820 News in Tampa Bay, as well as AM 1190 News in Orlando. That'll do it for us here today on your wake-up call. For Chris Markowski, I'm Jenna Laine. We'll see you next time.